For 5 months, I thought I was winning. I was getting stronger, I was consistent, I wasn't missing workouts. Then I put my January scan next to the one I just took in July. Same machine, same conditions, 5 months apart. In 5 months, I gained almost 4 pounds of fat. I lost more than 2 pounds of muscle. My body's fat percentage went up just from over 40% to almost 42. And the scale hadn't even gone down. I went up to 318.8 to 319.7. I read those 2 columns 3 times because the workouts didn't feel like they were doing that. That was the moment I understood something. My program wasn't failing. My life had changed, and the program never got the memo. If you're new here, I'm Coach Ron from Food Fitness DC. 408 pounds at the start, over 90 pounds gone since. I'm not here to sell you a transformation story, especially not with numbers this unflattering. This isn't a workout tutorial. It's about the moment 2 columns of data told me something my workouts couldn't. For 5 months, I ran a push-pull leg split, alternating full strength weeks with 4 full hypertrophy weeks, A and B days. On paper, it should have worked. I hit my lifts. I never missed a session. Well, I maybe missed a handful. If you'd asked me in month 4, how's it going? I would have told you I finally cracked it. Here's what I didn't factor in. For most of the 5 months, I was working the floor at Gold's Gym as a membership consultant, 8-9 hours a day on my feet, walking people around, standing through tours, jumping into a stranger's form check because I couldn't help myself. I was moving constantly, and I never once counted it because it didn't feel like training, it was just work. Then in May, I got a new job back in my field, assistant property manager in a commercial real estate firm. 20 plus years in that industry, it's a real opportunity and I'm grateful for it, but it's at a desk. It's meetings, it's laptop, it's parking garage, drive home instead of a gym floor. Some days, the most walking I do is like from my car to the desk or to the bathroom and back to my desk. You know, that's literally it. Same workouts, different job underneath them, and I kept training like nothing had moved. So let's get back to those 2 columns because I want to show you the actual numbers just described them. Body fat mass went from 128.8 to 132.6 pounds. That's almost 4 pounds of fat gained. Lean mass went from 175.1 to 172.7. Skeletal muscle specifically dropped from 128.7 to 126.4. Body water dropped too, from just under 46% to just over 42. 4 different measurements, 4 arrows pointing in the wrong direction. In the same 5 months, I thought I was doing everything right. I remember staring at that screen and thinking, I've been doing everything right. How is this even possible? For about 30 seconds, I honestly wondered if all the work had just stopped. You know, like that uncomfortable thing to admit on camera, but it's the truth, so I'm leaving it in. There's one number that didn't fit the pattern, and I want to be honest about it instead of leaving it out. My resting heart rate actually dropped from 78 beats a minute to 66. That's a real improvement. So somewhere in those 5 months, my cardiovascular system got more efficient while my body composition was quietly moving backward. Both of those things are true at the same time. That's not a contradiction. That's just what happens when one system responds to what you're doing and another one responds to what you're not doing anymore. For a minute, My first instinct was the easy explanation. My body got used to the program. But that's not actually what happened, and it's not a fair thing to tell you either, because it teaches the wrong lesson. It's not that my body adapted and needed to be confused. It's that my environment changed enough that the program no longer matched my life. Different job, different daily movement, different stress, different calories burned before I ever touched a weight. Same training program, different result. That's not mysterious. That's just math I hadn't done. So here's what those 5 months and that scan actually taught me. First, a program can be working in the sense that you're getting stronger and still be working for the life you currently live. Those are not the same thing, and I have been treating them like they were. Second, discipline can turn into autopilot if you're not careful, and autopilot is exactly where drift hides. I showed up, I logged my sets, I told myself that was enough. It's not nothing, but showing up isn't the same as paying attention. Third, I wasn't the same athlete who wrote that program, and I kept training like I was. The guy who built that split spent 8 or 9 hours a day on a gym floor. The guy who was still running it in month 5 sits at a desk and drives to a parking garage. Different recovery, different daily burn, different stress, different everything except the paper that it was written on. Fourth, this is the one that actually changed how I coach myself. The body doesn't grade effort, it grades match. It doesn't care how hard you worked if what you're doing no longer fits where you actually are. I meant well for 5 months straight, meaning well isn't a variable the scan measures. The old program had me alternating strength weeks and hypertrophy weeks. On paper that looked smart. In practice, it split my attention across 2 different signals every other week and gave me a lot of surface area to feel busy without necessarily being effective or accurate about what was actually happening to my body. The new system, and I'm not going to walk you through every single exercise because that's not the point, but every single session now carries a strength focus and a hypertrophy focus at the same time. 1 to 2 heavy compound lifts, then accessories that build the muscle around it. Fewer moving parts, fewer places for a number like the one I just showed you to hide. I also built rules. Instead of leaning on motivation, because motivation didn't catch this, a scan caught it. So now there's a 7-day weight average instead of a single number, a simple progression rule for every lift so I know in 10 seconds if I'm actually moving forward, a weekly checklist for protein, water, and steps so compliance is something I can see instead of assume, and a plan for what to do when the week goes sideways, written down before I need it instead of improvised in the middle of it. I'm calling this the Break 300 Recomp Cut, and I'm treating it like an experiment, not a victory lap. 8 weeks minimum, probably 12 before I let myself judge it. I'm documenting it publicly, including the weeks where the average doesn't move and I have to say on camera instead of quietly shooting. Here's the real reason I'm doing it this way. I have 4 coaching clients right now, and I hope to have more. I'm never going to hand someone a system I haven't lived inside myself first. Especially not after what the scan just showed me about how easily effort and results can quickly disconnect from each other without you even noticing. So this isn't me selling a program today. This is me testing one in public on myself with the receipts already on the table. Here's the thing I keep coming back to. This video was never really about a new workout split. The plan is just the outcome. The real story is the moment I realized that consistency isn't enough if you're consistently solving yesterday's problems. I wasn't lazy those 5 months. I wasn't unmotivated. I showed up every single time. And I still gained fat, lost muscle, and didn't know it because I was answering the question my life had already stopped asking. A program isn't just sets and reps. It's built around the life you're living when you write it. When that life changes, the program doesn't. Your body doesn't wait for you to notice. It just quietly starts telling a different story than the one you're telling yourself. I'm grateful that scan caught it in 5 months instead of 2 years. I don't want to count on getting that lucky again. 5 months ago, I thought I was winning. Today, I know something better. Winning isn't doing the same thing forever. Winning is being honest enough to change when the evidence tells you to do so. If you're watching this and you've got a substantial amount of weight you want to lose and don't know where to start, I built something exactly for that starting point. Before you need something as specific as what I just showed you, it's called the First 90 Reset. 90 days, self-paced, built for people standing where I was standing at 408 pounds. Go to Food Fitness DC, set up a consultation, and we can talk about it. And if you want to watch this experiment happen in real time, subscribe, because I'm bringing you back at the halfway point, whether the scan looks better or worse. That's the deal. Become the person the weight can't come back to. I'm Coach Ron, and I'll see you on the next one. Gone.
What's up? It's your boy Drizzy Drake, and you are now rocking with Pain.